This video is for those of you ladies who are ready to step into love and you're tired of attracting those unavailable men. If that is you, then listen up, girlfriend. This is coming to you from Shara Ogin. I'm an intuitive coach and I work with a hell of a lot of ladies looking for love, plus my own personal experience with it. So the main reason why women continue to attract unavailable men again and again and again is, well, there's several reasons. But the main one is that they are not valuing themselves enough. That I'm talking to you. I'm saying you are not valuing yourself enough. Because we live in a law of attraction universe, what this means is that you're pitting out that you could give me like half-ass attention or, attention only in these small little bubbles of time, like when you're not with your kids or your work and all the other things. And that is enough. Like you're saying basically to yourself, I'm only worthy enough to receive like this much attention. When really I want you to get to the point where you're like, this much attention is how my level of self-worth is. You with me, girl? Yeah, high five on that, okay? So one of the first steps is increasing your ability to receive. So this is receiving specifically attention from a man. And a lot of the reason why we're unable to do this is because we didn't receive the attention from our fathers when we were younger. That's a whole nother ball game to heal. Yet just recognize that is the root, and that's okay because anything from the past can still be resolved and healed. And you could shift the patterns moving forward. So for you, if that's your pattern, then you need to start learning how it feels to actually receive a man's full attention on you. So some of the simple little practices are when you're talking to a man, it doesn't have to be the man, but any man, where's your eye contact? Is your eye contact looking down? Are you able to keep eye contact with this person? And then work up to a hot, attractive man, and then see if you could keep your attention there. Also, when you're attending to this person, is your mind on, oh my God, what is he thinking of me? Like maybe like 30 to 40% of your attention is on actually what he's saying, and you have no idea what he actually just said. So then you feel like an idiot after that. My point is listening and receiving. So like attention on him, attention off of what's wrong with you, and letting in the information that he's sending you. The next suggestion is to receive a compliment. This is homework practice. Just practice receiving a compliment from a friend and see how far in you let it land. Like if they say, that's a beautiful shirt you have on, do you just say, oh, that shirt was like on the sales rack at Macy's, or discard it in some way, or do you actually just let it in and receive it? Even more so if it's a personal trait, like that was a really amazing job that you did at work. Those are things like let them penetrate all the way in. And those are some practices that will up level your receivingness quota. I'm going to practice with everybody right now. I'm going to be telling you right now that you look beautiful. And see if you can just practice letting that penetrate all the way inside of you, all the way to your heart. Yes. And then when you're able to receive more, you'll be able to attract a man that's able to give you more. I guarantee this, because my receiving level quota used to be very low. And then I raised it before I met my husband. And you are worth it. Don't let anybody tell you, any of your upbringing, inform you that you are less than receiving everything. Finances, love, time from a man. One of the main blocks I see women with love in general is they try to show up in this perfect way. Like the mascara is perfect, and the outfit's perfect, and if there's anything wrong, like a wrinkle in it, then it'll be such a big deal. But honestly, when you're really wanting to find a true life partner, then just show up as yourself. And that brings me back to the first point, which is self-love. When you start to get into more appreciation and love of this person, who you are, this amazing being who you are, we all have amazing characteristics, no matter how good looking or tall or short you are or smart you are, we all have special abilities. And so the more that we lean into these and start to follow our heart with whatever that ability is and whatever our special sauce or what we're meant to be doing here is, then allow that to fill you up with joy and stop punishing yourself for all the mistakes that you're making, all the little errors or mistakes, or, we're all humans. So one of the mantras I sometimes give to people is, I am perfectly imperfect. So just say that to yourself right now. I am perfectly imperfect. And then the other thing is if you continue to attract unavailable men, and especially if you are at the end of your childbearing years and you want to have a child and you want to have a family, then you have to ultimately commit to seeing what the red flags are in these men that are unavailable, and then commit to stop seeing those people. A woman could feel it, like this man is exactly my old type. And you have to basically, as hard as it is, commit to drawing the line in the sand and saying, no more of this. I'm upping my value. So when you become available, sure, I might be available then. But until then, I have to say no. And I have to go for my own joy. And if it means like having a nice laughter or afternoon walk with a person, that's fine, as long as you don't let it tug at your heart. And one of my best techniques is basically just cutting it off completely, because I had a hard time not being distracted when there was an unavailable man that I knew like that was in my sphere, but he was unavailable. So maybe in the past I would do like 10 texts, when can we talk again, So it's literally just like taking him out of your phone, disconnecting on social media, all of those things, completely disconnect. If you could feel that old pattern of being pulled in your heartstrings towards this person, it's going to happen. I know it's easier said than done, and it feels so uncomfortable to do this. And I've been there too. And often what happens after that, here's kind of the bad news, is isolation. You do have to go through a period of isolation when you really want to rid yourself of this pattern, but do know it will have long-term positive consequences. Some of you may know my story that I found my love at age 44 and I had a baby with him at age 47. So it's not too late for you to do this too. Well, I'm really curious how you do with implementing these traits of self-love, increasing your self-worth, receiving, and owning your shit, your awesomeness. Stop in that critter mind of your thoughts. And receiving man's full attention, both visually, as he looks at you, eye gazing and having your attention out on him, and receiving words of appreciation. And then after that comes touch and sensuality. So when you're making love with a partner, you want to be able to receive the feeling, not just give sensation and feeling, if that makes sense. That may be another video for me to expand upon what I mean there. But so many of my clients, their attention is on doing in order to be, which is in the bedroom. How could I best please this man? Or how could I be the woman he wants me to be? Rather than just being like, I am the freaking awesome goddess. And guess what? You get me for the night. God, what guy doesn't want to hear that? Oh, and by the way, if you're in a relationship right now with an unavailable man, you might just recognize this pattern, and that the more you are in this dynamic, it's really invalidating. It's really invalidating to be with a man that doesn't make time with you important. It has you feel like you're less important. So basically what it's doing, it's just reinforcing this neural code of negative self-worth. So if that's you and that's what's going on, then just commit to stop it. This relationship is not having me feel how I want to feel. And the way you want to feel when you're in a relationship is awesome. You want to feel valued, and you want to feel nurtured and special. But here's the secret thing that I learned when I met my husband, that the most important thing for long-term love is that you feel like you. Stay in touch. Love to hear what you have to say about this in the comments, and hope to see you next time.